Every Sunday, Pat Sullivan from Sullivan Hardware and Garden provides some great advice for do-it-yourself home improvements. Today, he focuses on plants and flowers, particularly annuals.
Okay, the weather is looking good. Now, I'm not saying it's time to plant annuals. I'm not saying that because our frost-free date is about May 8th here. All right, so we always talk about Mother's Day, but that doesn't not going to stop people from talking about annuals. And you know, you can do a lot of containers, anything that you can get inside and protect in case we get a cold snap or anything that can be, absolutely we can go about it. So we sell a lot of annuals, and there's a lot of really good annuals, and there's some that we go, probably not so good. So I've kind of divided just a few selection here. I've got annuals that look good that aren't very good. I've got annuals that look bad and are fabulous, and then I got ones that look good and are good. All right, so let's start with the good, bad, and the ugly. All right, so starting right here, this is called an Asti, and these are brands got daisy-like flower. They come in yellow, they come in orange. They look beautiful, and you know what? I can line them up and people buy them all day long. But you know what? It's a great cool weather flower. But as soon as this gets hot, the bloom will start to shrink on you, and then in summer, not going to bloom so much. This same thing here, this little daisy, this does okay in the heat, but it tends to stretch out and gets real dirty in the bottom. So a nice looking little plant, but not so good when it grows up. Right here, oh, the Bacopa. Now, not only does it smell like glue, the problem with this plant, and everyone loves it for a filler so that it hangs over in the basket, but this white flower tends to go green, and you don't get any blooms during the summer. So you can have a green vine, so I'd stay away from this. Dioecia, same thing. This is another, another cool season plant. It'll be great in the fall. It'll hang in there with you, but it probably won't bloom too well during the summer. This one right here, oh, look at these. This is the Gabbera daisies, or as we say in Indiana, Gerbers. These are beautiful, and people are suckers for these things. Now, I like to call them a teacher gift because it makes a great thing on the last day of school. You give that to the teacher for keeping your kid alive. But listen, it's not a great long-term solution. I know when I say this, people go, you know, my Gerbers are excellent. Well, that's great. You're a wonderful gardener. But for the rest of us, more than likely, we're going to lose them due to mildew. They're real sensitive to water. If you overwater them, they flatten out, and it just never ends well. So if you try to get out of here with more than, say, 2 or 3 of them, I'll stop you. All right? So those are the Gerb. And the worst offender of all, the sucker plant, blue lobelia. Blue lobelia is absolutely beautiful, but unless you are the perfect gardener, it is very unforgiving, because when it dries, it dies, and it'll just be brown. So those are the ones you want to stay away from. Some great plants. Lantana is absolutely wonderful. Doesn't look great in a 4-inch pot. It loves the summer heat. Will get bigger, flowers like crazy. So Lantana is a great selection. How about this one? This is called Angelonia. Now, would you buy that? So everyone does the grandma mix. You know what the grandma mix is? That's when you take a pot and you put a spike, you know, in the middle. You put a geranium, Vincombine, Vincombine. Grandma. So you want to mix it up a little bit. Use Angelonia in the middle in place of the spike. This thing will get big, it gets thick. Blue flowers, white flowers, pink flowers. Absolutely beautiful. This one right here, this would be a great replacement for the Bacopa that doesn't smell like glue. Doesn't look great now, but this thing comes out, it's called a fan flower or scavola. A great, great plant. You're going to love that plant. This one, dragon wing begonias. For a lot of you, you'll know this, but for some people, it looks like a wax begonia. This thing loves the shade. Will just go and go and go. It gives you a lot of color. You're going to absolutely love this one. Now, look at this. This is the ones that look good and are good. Diamond Frost, again, is a great filler plant. After you kill everything else, this will still be alive. This is Supertunias. Supertunias are, now everyone's heard of waves, but what's actually in most hanging baskets are not wave petunias, because waves are better in the ground, at least the original wave. Supertunias are great because they actually bloom all along the stem, where a wave will kind of get flat and the color's down at the end of the vine. These will actually bloom all the way down the stem. So Supertunias, there's all new colors. There's honey, you'll love those. Callies are great. You know what? If you can protect this stuff, you can get going right now. We can have a little fun.
All right, some good information there. We'll still